Next, let's cover our notification settings. So we're in our settings, we're going to scroll down, and under Office, you'll see notifications. You'll notice that in the general section, all of those options are grayed out and I can't disable. That's because I'm currently on the free version of the app. So I've got 10 free quotes, 10 free invoices, and 10 certificates, but I'm unable to disable the notifications for any deals or any comms that we put out from time to time. When you're a paying customer, you can turn these off and you control what you do and don't receive. But for now, let's just move past this and then get down to the meat and bones of the notifications that you receive relating to your quotes, invoices, and certificates. So the first one being reminders. So when you set a reminder for a job, you can choose to be notified about this, or if you turn it off, you'll just have to keep an eye on it in your calendar. Bookings, same principle. All of these options are simple toggle on or offs. For bookings, we've got options to be notified a month before, week before, 3 days before, a day before, or an hour before. You can choose the extent in which you receive these. By default, all of these will be on. If you just want to say, you know what, I just want to be notified a day before and a week before, that's not a problem. You just go in, toggle the ones that you want on and the ones that you don't want off, and you're good to go. With the quote, we've got an outstanding 3-day after reminder. So what this is you'll send a quote to Mrs. Smith. Then when you've not had a response from the quote, 3 days after the fact, it will ping you a notification saying, hey, you've not had a response from Mrs. Smith yet. Might be worth giving her a nudge. I always like to leave this on because if you're sending a quote, you want to make sure that your customer is either accepted or declined it. Hopefully they've accepted it, but you'd rather know either way whether you've won or lost the job. Then we move on to invoicing. And here we have got our reminders for a recurring job, overdue payments, and to what extent that might be. Next, we've got our invoice notifications. So we can have a recurring job reminder. Next, we've got our invoice notifications. So this is a recurring job, an upcoming overdue payment, or an overdue payment. So again, we can control this here. We can be reminded a week before an overdue payment is becoming overdue, or we can remind ourselves, hey, Mrs. Smith hasn't paid and it's been a week since the overdue date. Very simple. Toggles, as you know, might be worth just keeping a couple on here, just so you don't forget to chase up Mrs. Smith if she hasn't paid. Finally, for those of you that are heating engineers, we have the certificate section. So this is the gas safety check and the service maintenance check. This will remind you, hey, you did a service for Mrs. Smith 11 months ago. It's time to get back in touch and get it booked in. Always worth keeping these on so you don't miss a service. And that's it. Once you're happy with all of these and you've toggled what you need on or off, you're good to go to move on to the next section.